Hi all my Chatthefat friends, we're back in the kitchen and we're gonna cook. Okay, you remember my sister. So she does these things all the time. She volunteers for everything. Almost as much as I volunteer for a lot of things too. So she has a friend that does a dinner theater at school. So what happens is the kids, the 8th graders, they put on this play and my sister helps her with this dinner. So last year they made like a potato cheesy soup and little sliders and ice cream. So it turned out really good. And so now this year we're going to go with an Italian theme. And I think you should remember that at Christmas time, we make ravioli. So now this time we're gonna make manicotti, and we're gonna make homemade manicotti, but that'll be in a different film because this is the test of the dessert. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, we can do like a cannoli and we can try to make that healthier. And so let's check this out. So I saw someplace they had a little, I think these are called a pizzelle. So it's a little, and it's like a 4-inch round circle, 4 inches in diameter. And so I have these coworkers that go, oh, so what do you want to figure out, Lynn? What the pie of the, and I'm like, do you need the square root when you come across them? It's like, no, I need to know what I can wrap that around so that it'll be like the shape of a cannoli, so that, and lo and behold, what do we have? Our whisk. Because I put it on a piece of paper, marked off like about 4 inches, and I'm like, well, this is about how big it has to be. So when I rolled it over, I'm like, well, that's about the size of if you would roll it around. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I got this recipe from my sister-in-law, and oh, congratulations, Wendy, gonna be my sister-in-law finally. So anyways, so 7 extra large eggs. So we got 6 already cracked because you know how that sister is of mine, she always wants me to make sure that I have things so that they move along and they go a little faster. So here goes number 7. Now, it says extra large eggs. You don't see my big bucket of hot water over here that I always have to wash my hands in, but that's okay. It's there, you know it's there, so when you see me disappear, that's usually why. So, the difference between a small egg and an extra large egg is a lot. The difference between a medium and an extra large is still a difference. Like if I had to do this and I only had medium eggs, I would probably make it 8 eggs. I have never tried that before, so I wouldn't know, but there's a conversion someplace and it tells you how many of X size of eggs, and so if you had the smaller ones, how you should be replace it. But the problem is that the yolk is a certain size, and I think it's the white that actually gets a larger percentage bigger. So if it says extra large, just get the extra large. So, but you know, I suppose back on the farm, back in Italy, they were up in the Alps, they didn't have a chance to just run to the Piggly Wiggly next door and get the eggs that are marked whatever. So I'm sure that they just used whatever they had. And if it didn't look like enough, you just added a little more. Okay, so 1.5 cups of flour or 1.5 cups of sugar. Now, the recipe does say to beat it, so we're gonna whisk it. Oh, a cup of melted butter. So remember, as you remember, I have a problem with the microwave, remembering the microwave. So, why are we looking at this and why are we doing desserts? And it's like, because you're gonna have desserts. It's just part of life. So, but what we wanna do is follow most of the concepts, and one of the concepts is no deep fried. Cannolis are deep fried. So, we're gonna test this out to see if you can make this without deep frying and I'm sure that all of my Northern Italian genealogy friends are all gonna go, no, you can't do that, Lynn, you can't do that. Oh, you guys, come on. It's like, you gotta be nice to me because I'm doing this race and you can't be doing these obstacles if you got a huge amount of body fat, we'll call it, to hoist up and over these different things. Okay, so 3 tablespoons, it does say big T, of vanilla. Now, usually I would use my own vanilla. I make my own vanilla, but I think that the store-bought is sometimes a stronger flavor, and so that's why I'm using that one. I like the flavor of the one that I have, but maybe it's just stronger. Who knows? So, where does beat eggs, add sugar gradually. Oops. Beat until smooth, got that. Add the cooled butter and vanilla. Forgot the butter because it's still in the microwave. Okay, now the reason that we actually want this cooled is because otherwise your eggs will cook. So we are going to take this and we're going to try to cool this a little bit faster, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to just throw this in another bowl. Oh, then I got butter in here, and it's like I got a septic, and I can't put fat in my septic. You're not supposed to put fat in your drains no matter what, because it'll clog your drains. So I have to wipe this out of the bowl. I do have my little heater on, and so I suppose I could have taken and just dumped some of that into, because I have to grease that little pan. Okay, so these are like baking. So make sure you take your flour, do not pack. It's like lightly scoop this in, take a flat and scrape it off, because you don't want to pack your flour. Okay, then it says that you're supposed to mix the flour with the baking soda and do that with a whisk. So here's my flour, and we're gonna just take and oh, you know what? Let's try this. Here's my 1/2 cup. So that makes my 3½ cups. We're gonna stick this in here just because. That way, I suppose I could have put it in a bigger bowl. Stick that in there. Just zip that little puppy closed. And guess what? We're gonna just mix that right on up. Since we don't have any lumps in our baking powder, that will work. Okay, so, and we don't have a sifter, and that works. Okay, we're pretty cooled, so we're going to, I'll tip this down. Oh man, it really smells like vanilla. So, you have to make sure these eggs do not cook. What is it? Chocolate eclairs and cream puffs. You have to make sure with them too. Same thing. You got to be very, very careful that you don't accidentally cook your eggs. And real hot butter will do it. Okay. Now, does it say carefully add this? No. It says whisk in. So we're gonna pretty much, oh wait a minute. Let's just do that like that. Okay. We're gonna dump half of this in as we're whisking it, and just so, oh, I hate that when that happens. So we don't get lumpy dough, because that would not be a good thing. When you're trying to mix this stuff, it's like, make sure you got a good whisk. And don't be afraid. If it says something on the recipe like brownies where it says just till moistened, that you do not want to whisk hard or stir hard or beat or whatever. Man, we make a mess. Good thing that sister of mine isn't here, because she'd be like, Lynn, how can you do that? You're getting junk all over the counter. I'll tell you, we went camping last weekend, and oh, we had a good time. So cooked the garlic bread out over the grill and wrapped it in tin foil. It snowed. I can't believe it. Wisconsin, it snowed. So such is life. And we boiled the raviolis inside, heated the sauce up in the crock pot. My sister pretty much has got this down pat on how to do some of this stuff, and so it's kind of fun. We had a great time. Okay, so page 1 is done. I tried to copy this and keep like, oh. So I will put this recipe up on my Chatthefat blog. So it would be Chatthefat, just like Chatthefat videos, Chatthefat blog, all one word. You can handle it. You can find it. In case you want to make this. This came from Wendy from the church that she goes to. It's kind of a smaller church. Excuse me. But Wendy says that she really likes this one. So we're going to test it out and see how it is. Okay, so I gotta have a relatively clean whisk so that I can roll this around something. Okay, so it says that you're supposed to put
there's always a bunch of flies around.
Oh, bean till smooth will be sticky. We got sticky. I used a teaspoon. Okay, got it. That means that person that made this gave us a clue. We're gonna use that clue because it's stupid not to. Wendy said you put a spray on the first one and you're good to go. Sometimes if you put a spray on the first one, if the first one is greasy or something like that, you just toss it. It's a sacrifice. Either that or you eat it. And then the rest of them you're good because it does have a Teflon. So then we're good. I don't know how many this makes, but we're gonna have like 100 people at this dinner. That not next weekend, but the weekend after, because my sister would be like having Lynn, we don't have time to get all this stuff done because she's a very time orientated person. So she because she's a teacher, she has to be. So I live a little bit more on the edge. You know, it's like, oh, I suppose I should test this out. That would be, yeah, it's about time. So anyways, so we're going to just push this off with our finger. You know, you probably could do this with a little one of those little scoopers, like an ice cream scooper, except for it's not for ice cream, because not unless you're like making little balls of ice cream, but that would work too, because then you could just like, but it's gonna get awfully messy. The teaspoon is gonna work great. Okay, so the cover of this has a little on-off thing. So I'll be right back as soon as, because I gotta quick do some dishes. Okay, I almost forgot about you. So I got you turned back on. Our ready button is, ooh, I see, when the ready button is on, it's like you need to move it fast. So we are just gonna take these first two, and those are getting tossed because
after I decided to do, for the longest
like,
time, I only had like 14 subscribers. It was so funny. I then went up to 24.
they cook faster than what I thought. So, yeah, those are pretty dark. So we're gonna toss, and we'll just call those primer. So back to that sink again. Gotta grab that towel. Okay, put our flour away. Because, you know, in the what you call it, they got a little timer and they just pop up. Okay, so we got our pan, and so that, or our cooling rack. And so we'll throw our eggs back in the refrigerator. And it's like, okay, now when I want them to be done, now it's going to take a little while. So we will just,
Everything stopped. And it really has never gotten to that point.
okay, it's got to be pretty soon.
But it was severe. There was a time.
I could stop it, but then as soon as I do, it's like, it's going to go boom, and then you're going to miss it, and then you'll be like, Lynn, what did you do? And so, oops, there it is. Okay.
So anyway.
Oh, they are supposed to be this dark. Okay, pick this one up, and, oops, quick roll this.
But the more I research this particular idea,
And then we'll grab this one.
snake winding around like the caduceus. We used to use that in,
And we'll roll that one.
you know, on television.
And we'll just let those kind of cool. And
Always something about medicine.
I'm not real crazy about how brown they are.
So this is a medical caduceus, and it says vintage rare.
Okay.
Christian Dior.
We just like need to
And it's
set a timer.
And I would bet that's, I don't know whether it's real.
Let's hear her. On my little Fitbit, okay, so it says ready, power, but that's not a cooking ready, so now it's off.
And this is supposed to
And
represent-
let's see here. So you're gonna figure out how this all works. Same as I am. So,
And this
oh, you know what? I thought I had in my drawer. So
that they all have.
maybe that actually would be, as soon as you figure out how long these take, you should have a little timer. You know, one of those ones that sit on the counter.
The cereal grain
And,
codes take it out of
So let's see here. If we take our,
realm.
you know what? I hate this. It's like my hand gets wet and then nothing works. So,
It's not the question.
okay, so, oh, that's not what we want. We don't want alarm, because that would be, okay, timers.
So that's what this
Okay,
represents.
so,
That's the
all right. This is good, because
This
we can experiment
represents
this.
the serpent going up the
Okay,
spine
oops, I almost forgot. I
and-
gotta hold
and
this the other
seeing
way.
themselves in the pineal gland
Get these
of the
apart.
brain. And whether the serpent means a
Okay.
evil spirit or an actual serpent. There is, and I'd like to introduce this school of thought. If
Okay, there's a thinner end and a
underground,
fatter end. So I'm rolling it to
these lizards.
the
And
fatter end.
they've seen something. I don't know what they've seen, but I believe
So, let's see, where's our little spoon?
experience these things. And now is the best time
Unless-
to start.
I don't think she was making them thicker, because I don't think you want them thicker.
That what they're going to do is they're going to start coming out with a bunch of fake ones, because this
Okay.
is real to me. And everything's pointing to
And
it being
we'll
real.
put this
These are
down,
not new. This is not symbology.
and we'll push start,
honestly
and kind of go for,
because I didn't want a modern interpretation.
well, first,
You know, and the older
we don't know how long the first
things wrap
one
around them,
goes for.
always with the-
Okay, so these are, they're a nice little hole on the inside, so actually that would make,
So, there it is.
they don't taste
I
burnt.
wanted to go over the fact that, the president had an amazing.
They're thin though.
last night in Green Bay.
So,
I didn't get a chance to hear Don Jr., but I've been listening.
we'll turn on some lights.
I had this
I hope I'm
thing
not
on
too
the
orange.
phone, but it seemed like he was really getting the crowd going.
There, that's better.
I just wanted to
Okay.
mention a few things that he's-
So, and I think it's because I got them thin.
These people are sick,
So,
quite a few times.
that'll make a really pretty,
I only know one other
so, and it's just, like this one here, it got over to the edge
person.
a little bit. So,
Yeah,
this is at 1 minute and 15 seconds, so.
sick, that's what.
Oh, I think that that would be good.
And he said this. He
Oh,
said.
these are
He's
thicker,
talking about the Democrats again.
but I like the looks of these ones better.
Of the specifics, I didn't write them all down, but when he said this, I wrote it down.
So,
He said they may be.
and Wendy said you have to move really, really fast,
I want to go back and see. what
but
it is.
actually,
But he said something about them hating
I'm
America.
thinking,
Why do they want,
Oh.
and he goes, these are very,
I-
very, very bad
okay, so if you cook a lot, guess what? You have more than one whisk.
of this campaign.
And so that's,
Talked about
that's
some
okay.
wild stuff. These are very, very, very bad people. He kept saying it. These are bad people. And I kept thinking, well, I know all about bad people.
Okay, so
I thought I knew all about bad people. I had
put it
no
there.
idea. Creatures even like this.
Oh, it's making all kinds of weird noises. I think it's got gas.
He was about
So.
how messed up they are.
This looks really good.
They're really bad. And
You know what? When you're working with sticky doughs,
I don't know what he said here,
I don't like my fingers on.
but he said that. Maybe.
This looks really good.
And
So,
he
see,
said this before, and I
that gives us,
this time I wrote it down.
we'll be able to take our piping
The children.
tip and get it in there, get some filling in there, and then this looks really good. This is what I need to do. Use a fuller teaspoon so that I have enough dough, and then go for a minute and a half or a minute and a quarter, and then that will work. I like this brownness better. Then we want to put like
He said they eat their young.
a raspberry
Owl eats their own young.
whipped cream in there, or a raspberry flavored kind of it's supposed to be like a ricotta type of a thing
They're simple.
that you put in there,
And so,
and
yeah.
that's what the filling normally is.
If you like the children, he's talking about
But
being able to leave the farm.
she wants to then drizzle it with chocolate, so it's a raspberry, and then dip with the ends with chocolate chips. And okay, so you got to make sure that you don't put too much on here, because then we're going to get this. We're going to get this pancake look, and that is not good, because that would not necessarily be a desirable. But okay, so what we want to do is we want to be able to stuff this raspberry cream in here, and then dip the ends in chocolate chip, put it on a plate, take like we could use either a raspberry syrup, or we could just do like a chocolate sauce, and just you do it real thin, and you can either you just do it, kind of like air. And a lot of times you just put it in a bottle, or put it in a baggie, cut the corner off your baggie, and so that you can, and of course cut the corner really small. And then we're going to put like a little raspberry on the top of each one of them, so that they'll be garnished really pretty. And this'll work well. I'm thinking a couple of batches, I'll be able to have 100. And I'm thinking they're not deep fried. I can handle that. I would not, under any circumstances, use like I would be very, very careful about a fat-free something. It's like a Cool Whip or something. First off, it's like we know that Cool Whip isn't necessarily, we want something that's going to hold up. So you might have to actually whip your own whipping cream, especially if you're adding something to it. I've never added any flavorings to Cool Whip. I don't know if you have. I could call my sister-in-law on the other side, because she owns a bar, and so they make at Halloween time the infused Cool Whip or infused whipped cream, and they turn into shots or whatever. And so for like adult trick-or-treat, so they're actually pretty good. Had one at the bar here, and they use the vanilla wafers, and they put it on the side of the cup, and used pumpkin, because they use pumpkin Baileys in it. That was really good. So, and things like that, they're really good. You don't eat them very often. It's like once in a while. It's not something that you do all the time. So, such is life. Okay, so just a second. I have to quick grab something. Okay, I'm back. So the other thing I think that she wanted was to put a little powdered sugar on there. So you would put the powdered sugar on there, and then you could do your chocolate sauce and a little raspberry, and this will be fun. So the dinner is actually on
This is like
the
exactly my
11th,
story.
I think it is.
And what is,
So
what is?
the Friday before, we're traveling over to Cheryl's house. So you know what? I have more fun cooking with my sister than
Really interesting. My real
um,
name is Sax.
some of the other things that I do. So you just learn to, I just have fun. So it is a lot of fun. So we're making the manicottis the night before. We're making the because it's like a crepe. And so then you fill those, and we'll fill them the next day, and then sauce them over and bake them off.
I think they're back.
And I don't remember if we were putting a garlic bread and a salad with that, and then a dessert. So that will be
I just was
in
a man
2 weeks
in a dress.
on Friday. So then I'll try to get that video up on this Sunday, and so, but the manicotti should be, that'll be kind of fun. These are all things that I remember from back my grandma. And so my grandma had this book. Let me see if I see it.
You just accepted that it's one.
I thought it was right here. But anyway, so she's got all these recipes in there, and it's like, and I'm laughing because it says from Emma Magri and from Emma Bonini and from it was, oh, here it is.
How they cover themselves. And so, they successfully, they have thousands of years.
Uh-oh, it's dear husband. He's sneaking out here. I'm sure that he'll want to taste something someplace. But they would make things like beet cake, and ugly duckling pudding cake. So when you have all these recipes like this, and what do you do with them? And she had like little tabs on the corner, and then she's got another one too. And this is what I inherited, so from her. So what I want to do for my siblings and my cousins is I want to throw all these recipes on the copy machine so that I can scan them and then just print them or put it to the cloud. They all have computers. We all have computers, so we can handle that. But it's like she would pull things out of the newspaper, and here's Emma Myers and Elvira Dow would make this, and then I'm like going along and I find my own name in there. So, but here we go. Svui. Sorry, forget how to say some of these words. You know what? I'm also, it's like trying to learn how to speak Italian. So we'll see how that goes. Well, but some of the things that we inherit, it's like I use in my genealogy group and things like that. So it's kind of fun, and you just have to enjoy life. So let's keep things light. Look for different ways of making some items, and so that they fit in with the Chat the Fat. Enjoy your friends, relatives, neighbors, whatever, and just enjoy life. So, and hi Mom, because I'm sure you'll watch this too, and I hope I'm doing better. So, oh yeah, that's right, she hates that word. So I'm really, really working on that. Okay, you have a nice day, and we'll see you later. And let's chat the fat a little bit, a little bit again next week. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Ooh, I can't get this to go off. Okay, I had a quick jump back, because you know how I like to do that. And how to say, wait, I got a tip for you. Okay, so reset I have my watch. Okay, on a teaspoon, like maybe that much, like a teaspoon, I put it more towards the back of this, don't try to overfill these. Put it in, lock it down. 45 seconds is what I did a couple of these with. You can see them over here. We'll just take a little travel with that. And so it's like, you know, see, it takes a little getting used to so you don't get this rim around here. And even though, I don't know, I guess I would, you know, it's like, is darker better? And here's another one. Okay, back up because we're at 35. Okay, so we're just about at, so we're at 45 seconds. And what I would do is basically just roll these little puppies over. This one here has got a little, you know, if you're deep frying these, then yeah, you have to use the, because you got to put the dough around the little metal rod. These, if you normally have the water as hot as my sister does to wash dishes, you can handle this. So this is what I would call the size that we desire, okay? And so I can just pick those up and roll those without any problems. Your biggest problem is going to be that this dough is kind of sticky. To get it off the spoon in here, be able to handle rolling these and not, okay, so now we're at 45 again already. You see, it's like right away, as soon as it starts to warm up again, then, but those are okay. So I'm thinking that 45 is the 35 to 45. It all depends how thin they get, and that's gonna make the difference. So it's a matter of keeping this consistent, and it does smell really, really good whenever you put this cover down, because all you could smell is vanilla coming up at you. So there's a trick to it, definitely a trick. So it's like, as you're going to some of these and you go, oh, why are those so expensive? Well, this is the reason. So I guess what your problem is now is to make sure you don't squish it going down as you're pulling them off. So I'll just quick roll this over, flip that on the back side. I of course want to roll the fat side in so that it doesn't look like I had stuff roll out of the, it's kind of like when you get your waffles that overfill and you don't want it to, what is that? It goes into the crevice, and we used to call those worms. Ugh. Okay, so took me a little while to get that timer to go, and that is going to be a problem. So that if you had something you could hit it again, so that would keep you right on track. I have one of those. I just have to find it. I bought it like 30 years ago. I was obsessed with timers. So for some reason or other, I bought like all these timers and clocks and whatever. And so no, because I did some math on that so that I would have this off in the the right amount of time. Now you got to make sure that you don't roll it like a waffle cone, because if you roll it like a waffle cone, then you're going to have a problem with that too. You're going to have a problem filling. So, you know what? People don't get these very often, so I'm thinking that they will just be happy to have them. Okay, stop that, stop that, stop that, push that, and so then we got to do a little math. Probably at 35 seconds, which is fine. And so I did try to clean off my counter a little bit for you so that it didn't look so messy, but my counters always look messy. And it's like, because I had to buy new sugar, new flour, just in case. And I'm like, oh no, I don't remember how many I got at home. So, you know, when you're go to make things like this, take a check to see what you have in your kitchen before you run to the store. And because we're gonna fill these a different day, we didn't have to worry about the filling. But you see how this one here is got, let me see if you can see that in the camera. It's got that extra little, we used to call those worms on the waffle iron. And so, and all right, now, just because I held it up and showed you, that one got cool really fast. So they are pretty thin, so they cool really fast. And so, but in 2 weeks, I'll be making 100 of these. So, I'm thinking I'll keep an eye out. Okay, my sister's gonna go, Lynn, you are so weird. And you forgot to push the timer. Oh well, who cares? That's the end. Okay, I'm not coming back. I have to find my little disc and put this up.